Hey guys, welcome back. We're here in beautiful overcast Yorkshire and we're here at Proving Grounds because we thought it's long overdue. We actually gave you a decent review of the site itself. So let's go. First thing you'll notice is this vast and full car park. Plenty of parking facilities here, which is always nice to see. So not only do they have this space here, but over there they've also ploughed and flattened off an overflow car park as well. So even more parking over there, which is good because this place regularly gets over 100 players turn up. So it's good that they've got those facilities. Let's carry on. Okay, so the site itself is actually Yorkshire Paintball Centre, which is used once a month for Proving Grounds. Now, as we walk in, you're going to see some huts on the right-hand side here. This is generally used only for the paintball stuff and also kids' Nerf games as well, which is quite cool. And as we move through, we're going to hit the safe zone and you'll just get an idea of the scale again. So here we go, this is the safe zone. Just a couple of buildings from the outside, but as we walk in, like again, you'll get an idea of the vast scale and the facilities that are on offer in there. For a woodland site, it's pretty unusual, so let's go in. So here we are in the safe zone, guys. Whilst the players are out in the having their safety briefing outside there, we're going to have a look around, see how much space there is and things like that. First things first, let's have a look in there, and you can see you've got plenty of rooms to choose from. Lots of space down there, tables and chairs, etc. So loads of room already. There's 3 of those, and as we come around here, you can see we've got all these sections in the middle as well. Most of it's undercover as well, which is good if it's raining. But yeah, lots of individual little booths. So if you've turned up with your mates or a squad of friends, then you can take one of those for yourself, and you've got your own little sort of getting ready area. Again, lots of space for all your gear and to get everything ready. Carrying on, they do also have a speaker system for tunes as well, so you can listen to music while you're getting ready. I just wanted to show you this as well. They do have their own facilities here. Like I said, it is a paintball site, so they've got their own sort of shop, but you can also buy BBs, gas, etc. there. And then from this window, arguably the most important window of the day, is where you get your food from. Now, they normally do things like pizza, hot dogs, sometimes burgers. That's Andy, he owns the site. Yeah, lots of refreshments there, so that's really, really cool. Just spin you around again. We're going to walk through here, so you can get an idea of the booths themselves. It's cool that they've got all this camo netting up as well. It really adds to the sort of the vibe of the place as well. So more space down there for getting ready, loads of space up here for getting ready. I think you're getting an idea of the theme of this. There's just tons of room for loads of players, which is just as well. Like I say, lots of people turn up at this every month, so they need the space. And then we've got the guys who are actually organising Proving Grounds by Patrol Base. Their own little shop here, so you can get gas, BBs, pyro. They've also got some dye masks there on sale, which is quite cool. The guy with the megaphone there, that's Dave being really pleasant behind the counter there. And then we got Stu, who runs the event with his nice new haircut. Okay, so now we're going to go through to the Kronos area and the main game site itself. But first, I just wanted to show you this. It's a little area that they've added on recently. It's not something that's used for the Airsoft side of things, but they've got an axe throwing area in here. So about half a dozen little booths there for throwing axes, which is pretty cool. Anyway, let's head through. So this is the Kronos area. Again, looks pretty big for a Kronos area, but you've got room for queuing, and believe me, it does get busy. Like I say, with that many players turning up on a monthly basis, you've often got a queue, probably back to the flaps there. But Kronos itself is just through there. You're shooting out into the game site to test your FPS, and then off you go into play. And here we are. This is the site itself. Now, it looks kind of a mess of stuff, but there is some organisation to it. We're going to start by going this way first, and then we'll kind of take a circular route, and hopefully we'll be able to show you all the features of the place. So let's go this way. First area we're looking at here is most commonly referred to as the concrete tubes, for obvious reasons. There's loads of these things dotted around. There's lots of hilly terrain. There's also a bit of a trench system that actually runs through it as well. So lots of areas for hiding in you know, crawling up to the objective, things like that. But we'll have a wander through. We've got a couple of bridges across the trenches as well, so you can make your way around safely. So we'll go this way. Now this left side here is pretty much the boundary on this particular edge of the field. So like I say, we're walking around the outside. We'll go into the middle as well, but we'll do that last thing because there's something a bit special in the middle there. So yeah, it's even just this area alone is pretty big. You could run probably you know, half a day's worth of gameplay just in this section alone, I would have thought. So moving on from the concrete tubes, it's right next to what is again generally called the CQB building. So we're going to wander through and have a look in there. Again, plenty of cover that's been specially built for enabling people to move up on objectives and keep the gameplay a bit more interesting, rather than it just being completely open and you not being able to hide behind a skinny tree. You know, you've got lots of options to move around, which is nice. So here we are inside the CQB building. Again, you know, lots of manoeuvring room, lots of holes in the walls as well, so you're not completely hidden in here. You know, you can get picked off by a sneaky shot from the outside if you're not careful. All the camo netting again, at the moment full of foliage because it's, you know, it's April, so it's all still dead leaves around and everything. Lots of avenues to go around that way. There's an exit, well, a couple of exits around that way, I believe. We're going to carry on this way though. Another exit there, another exit here. So it's not completely enclosed. Again, it just keeps the gameplay a bit more interesting. You've got some walls to hide behind. I mean, even this little cubby hole in here, there's a hole right in the middle there, which you can use as a, you know, sneaky shooting out hole, or somebody could possibly get you from the outside in. So you're not always safe in here. Now, one of the nice things about this site from my unfit perspective is the fact that it's completely flat. So you haven't got any steep hills to run up and down, which is nice. But this trench system, like I say, like the one in the concrete tubes, you've got a kind of trench system that tends to weave its way through a lot of areas of the site. So you're not always running around on one plane, as it were. You know, you've got some sort of height advantage. You can duck down into ditches and sort of crawl your way along, which I've taken advantage of myself before. It's brilliant. Anyway, let's carry on. Along the edge there, you can just see through the trees. That's the edge of the field there as well. You've still got some built-up cover. These sort of wooden pyramids, if you like. It's a bit more open there, so it's a bit harder to sneak up. So if you do manage to do it, then well played. But you know, you've got some options for cover if you need them. As you can see already, we've already done quite a lot of walking. We're not even at the far end of the field yet, and you can just get an idea of how vast this site is. It is ridiculous. And another cool feature is the fact that the seasons of the year will change how the site plays, because you can see all this sort of dead fern stuff all over the floor and over that side as well. During the summer, that stuff is full and lush and green, and it makes the gameplay a lot different, a lot harder almost. Well, just different, I would say, not necessarily harder, but it offers up a lot more sneaking around because you've got so much more cover. So it's nice that you get a different vibe throughout the year if you're a regular player. Okay, we're moving up to another area, commonly known as Chocolate Island. I can't even remember why, to be honest, but it's just always been called Chocolate Island. Anyway, it's another group of small huts, if you like. You can't get in them, but they're just kind of small buildings that you can hide behind. One of the objectives, well, we'll come back to how the objectives work, but during the day, one of the objectives is that you have to hold the island. You have to stop the opposing team from getting in there. And there's actually a moat that runs all the way around it with a single bridge across. Now, you can try and risk jumping across the moat. It's not full of water, usually. You can try jumping across it. It's possible in some places, but there is that one bridge to get across. But it's, again, just adds up the gameplay a bit. Now, it is getting a bit overgrown, admittedly. So that gives you a better view of it there. Cool. Right, we're going to carry on around this way. It's a little bit overgrown, so just going to be careful as we get through here. Now, this is pretty much the far end of the field here as well. So you can see a little orange rope there signifying the boundary. I'm trying to get my way through to that bridge there. Here we go.
I couldn't see it on camera, I walked past it.
Even though it's all flat, you do have to watch your footing, as we just highlighted. Okay, so here we have regen 2. Safe zone is used as regen 1. This is regen 2. So the teams are split into two, obviously, one side and the other. And then game on, they come together. I think halfway through the day, the teams are then swapped over to make it fair. So first team start here, the other team start at regen 1. So lots of ground to cover. One awesome thing to use here, and is very effective, is smokes. Because sometimes it can be so open. You do need some kind of cover to help yourself move up. And you see evidence of smokes all over this site, and they are really a useful thing to use here. Now, I don't know if you've noticed throughout this whole walk around, there have always been lots of little bits of cover dotted around, either man-made or salvaged from old crates and things like that. So again, they're trying to think about how best to keep the gameplay interesting and give you a chance to actually move around the field. So it's nice that they've bothered. Just another example of another building. This again is one of the objectives. I think it's shared with another building as well. Both of them have to be held by by a team. If an opposing team member gets anywhere on that kind of site, then the objective is contested, so nobody wins the points. That's an interesting little feature. Anyway, like I said, we're going to talk about how the games run a bit later. The main thing I wanted to show you is just through here. It's the plane. Or at least it was once. Again, one of the objectives, I think at some point during the day there is a pilot that needs to be recovered to this plane, but you know, keeps things a little bit more interesting. I've seen people hiding in there before, defending it now. It provides plenty of cover to hide behind as well, so yeah. That's pretty cool. There's another building over there, that might be the one of the shared objectives. But there's another structure there that has to be defended. So you're getting you know, this kind of a gameplay style, if you like, to this that you're probably picking up on by now. If we wander through there, that takes us back through to the safe zone, but we're not going to go that way because it's pretty much more of, you know, woodland and man-made cover bits, more trenches around here as well. So yeah, lots of movement opportunities. But we're going to head that way. So here we are. The biggest, and I would say arguably the coolest objective in the game is this. It's a massive bridge. Access from both sides. Twice during the game day, the objective is to hold the bridge, so you've got to try and defend it against attacking players, depending on who gets on there first, obviously. But it really does add up the gameplay. It adds a bit of elevation, so you're sort of shooting up and down as well as on a flat plane, and it just kind of mixes it up. Now, well, I say it's easy to defend. It's not always easy to defend the bridge because you can get shot quite easily through gaps on it and things like that. You can't get underneath it. It is cordoned off just for safety purposes. But like I say, you've got ramps going up either side. You can't get medicked on the bridge. That's an important factor. But it's cool. It's just cool. It's massive. It's awesome, and it just adds an interesting angle to the day. And people love it. You know, first things you've got to do is, from game on, I think, is get onto that bridge. So you've got people rushing from both sides straight away to try and get on there first. And there's always furious firefights on there, which is awesome. We'll have a wander up it, see what you think. So, straight away, it's not just a clear path. You've got these barrels here to help you both defend it and attack it. You know, if you get on here and you can hide behind one of these barrels, if nobody sees you, that's the bridge contested. They don't get the points. So, you know, it's lots of sneaky areas to go in. So let's carry on. It's nice that they've put these wooden slats across here for safety to make sure you get the grip on there, but you end up walking like you're in ski boots. It's weird. So again, more of these barrels. Lots of areas to shoot out of and into as well. The wood isn't completely solid. You've got a few gaps here and there as well, so you can always get hit through those by a particularly skillful player. And then you've got this middle section. Now, sadly, you can't get up there, but it's probably safest that you don't. You've got walkways around both sides of this central column, so I'm going to go around this way. And then from here, it's pretty much a repeat of what you saw on the other side. So we're going to carry on until we're off the bridge. Now, if you're wondering why I'm struggling to breathe, it's because this site is so big. Just walking around it has knackered me out, to be honest. Anyway, let's carry on. So yeah, for those of you who are regular gym goers, then it might not be so bad. For people like me who exercise sat on the sofa, then you're going to feel it, I think, after a little while, but it's still worth turning up. Anyway, we'll head back to the safe zone. So throughout this video, I've been saying that I'm going to explain how the objectives work, and here's how they work. I've been to various sites in the past where, even sites similar size to this, where you go out and you play for 30, 45 minute games of a certain type, maybe capture the flag or attack and defend or something like that. And then you stop, go back to your safe zone, reload your magazines, change your battery if you need to, etc. Here it works a little bit differently. What they do is you've got game on at 10 o'clock in the morning and it goes right the way through till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Now, how they work that is, you've seen all the various sites or various areas around this site. They are objectives. So at a certain time of the day, you have to hold the concrete tubes, for example, which are behind the camera at the moment, or you have to conquer the bridge, or you have to recover the pilot to the plane, like we spoke about earlier. And you've got to achieve those by certain times of the day to get the points. Now, you may think, well, if you've got one team that's much better tactically than others, they might do a much better job of capturing things and it could be a complete whitewash. But you're also counting the kills as well. So it actually balances up quite nicely, because in order for you to get those objectives, more often than not, you're getting more deaths than you are sort of getting onto the objective. So the points always balance up very, very well. I've been here in the past where it seems like one team always seems to be doing a lot better than the other, but when you tally up all the points at the end, it's actually a lot closer than you think. So it's nice. You can turn that around. If you play very smart and just avoid getting shot, then you can often turn around the tide of the battle. So it's pretty cool, and there's not many sites I know of that do that outside of sort of proper milsim weekender type things. So yeah, it's good. I enjoy this place a lot. Anyway, that's Proving Grounds for you. This has been Kronos Airsoft Site Reviews. Hopefully we'll bring you more in the future, but until then, we'll see you next time.